And we are back here at 7:35 a.m. on a Thursday when I look at the calendar, and it is, again, 7:35 a.m. And then I look at the phone, and there's Jerry right on time, the Car Pro. Good morning, Car Pro.
Well, good morning, David, Matt. How are my buddies?
Oh,
Well,
we're doing all the good, but not nearly as good as you are. I just wondered, do you have one of those Cuban cigars that you roll down the window of that Mercedes that you're riding around in, and you have one of those funny little hats on, and do you smoke
You
a
know,
cigar? I mean, do you feel like a multimillionaire?
I tell you what, this car does make you feel good.
Does it? It
It
looks
does.
like it. It'd make me feel good.
It's a beauty. I got to tell you, and the main thing is it's kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing because just at a glance, it doesn't look like it has 603 horses under the hood. But boy, I tell you what, you know it when you step on that accelerator, and the exhaust sound is just amazing. This is the 2019 E63 AMG S model. They make one that is not the S model that's still running 450 plus horses, but this one bumps it up to 603. This is the fastest sedan in the AMG E63 lineup. And a lot of people don't realize these AMG cars, of course, all of that comes at a price, but every one of these engines is handmade. They don't go down an assembly line. And in fact, the person that makes the engine, when you open the hood, there's a plaque on the engine itself where they sign it. And boy, I tell you what, it's just an engineering marvel. Of course, it's got a wonderful interior, and it's got everything you can put on a car as far as options and standard equipment and things. But $124,000 on the window sticker with this
Ouch.
car. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but doggone it, it's a lot of cars.
That eliminates a lot of your buyers right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Although this car sells surprisingly well, and I think it's just those horsepower junkies out there that can afford it and that go, okay, I get to tell everybody I'm driving a car with over 600 horses under the hood, and yet I can enjoy it. It's a great daily driver. I mean, it's not like some of the real high horsepower cars I've had in the past, like the Dodge Charger Hellcat or the Challenger Red Eye that had 797 horses, or even Corvette. This car is a very comfortable daily driver, and if you don't kick it into dynamic mode, everything quiets down, all the dampers get softer, the steering gets easier, and you're just driving a really nice Mercedes. But then you hit dynamic or track mode, and this thing comes to life. It is pretty doggone amazing, the difference between the cars. It's almost like having two cars in one.
Yeah. Well, it is something to behold. I guarantee you. You know, I just bought a new vehicle, and there's a lot of stuff on it that I haven't figured out yet. This is. I'll bet that's the same thing with this Mercedes. In fact, probably most of the new cars that really do come loaded, they got bells and whistles and gadgets that is just astounding. Some of the stuff they do.
It really is, and what I always tell people to do, because when you take delivery of a new vehicle like your Highlander, I mean, at some point you're just ready to leave, and the nice person's going over everything with you. You retain about half of it,
or not even that much.
Yeah. And I tell people, keep notes. Either use your cell phone with voice memos or keep a pad and paper handy. Write questions down, and then go back to the dealership a couple of weeks later. And it in a quiet environment where you're not thinking about all the papers you just signed and that you're not dead tired from being there for 4 hours. And that's a good idea. That's good advice for anybody that gets a new car today.
Okay. Now, Jerry, I'm over on carprousa.com, and I've got to say, I need you to hook me up with some tickets
To the Supercar Showcase?
Yes, you got to get me into that.
I can get you in, buddy.
I would have to drive there, though, right?
Yeah, you got to get yourself here. It's an incredible event. In fact, we're going to be doing the show from there next week from this Saturday.
Goodness, there's some beautiful cars.
$100 million worth of cars. I mean, all on display and in one place. This is put on by the Park Place dealerships here in Dallas, which is a big luxury chain of dealerships. they've got the McLaren and the Rolls and the Bentleys and the Mercedes and Lexus and Jag and Rover, and I mean they got it all. And they put this event on for charity every year. And I tell you, it's more than just a car show. They've got a fashion show. Some of the best restaurants in Dallas come to this place. It's at the Four Seasons in Las Colinas. And the food, and for $100 ticket will get you into everything. And man, I just think that's a bargain for what you're seeing. We have not broadcast from there before. I have been there. In fact, I judged. They have a classic car contest, and I judged the first year, which was 2 years ago. But we haven't actually done the show from there, so we're going to be there.
So you're talking supercars, high end, not your standard luxury car, but your high end Bentleys and crazy luxury cars, and a classic car show
all together.
Wow.
Yeah, so McLaren too.
If nothing else, can you at least get some pictures up while you're there?
Absolutely. In fact, our executive producer that does everything on our website will be there with us, and she is a fantastic photographer. We'll have a ton of pictures, I promise you that, and we'll have them all posted online. Before we run out of time, guys, man, two big news stories just in the last 48 hours. The General Motors strike, we're going to have to watch that one and see where it goes. And then even more shocking to me was the Trump administration saying they were going to roll back the EPA requirements from California. And, man, you talk about legal fights. I'm not sure we'll ever see the end of those in our lifetimes.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, I look at the I guess the legal side of that, and it is a thing where one state is actually creating the laws for the whole country.
Absolutely, and it's been that way way too long, since 1970. Now, I understand the original intent because California had such a pollution problem, but I mean that was a long time ago. It's 50 years ago, and it's not that way anymore. And for one state to mandate the rest of the country on any issue doesn't make any sense to me. So we'll see where it goes, but it's not going to be an easy fight.
No. The other problem I see is that the car manufacturers, they seem to be on California's side. I mean, they went and made deals with California.
Well, let me tell you something. They are publicly on California's side while privately cheering Trump on.
Yeah.
Because they would much rather have uniform standards. They don't want these. We're still under a mandate that by 2025 we've got to be at a 52.5 mile per gallon average, and we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And
that'll be the next thing that the administration will roll back, and they've already said they would. That's coming in a couple of weeks. So I think the auto industry is afraid of not being viewed as green. And so publicly, they're saying
politically correct.
Privately, it's a different story.
Yeah, and I can't see how you wouldn't, as far as the bottom line. I mean, if you made cars more affordable, people would buy more new cars.
Absolutely, no question about it. And something's got to give because the prices just keep going up.
Yeah.
Okay. Jerry, of course, we want to remind everybody that you are on this station, KFYO, every Saturday live from 11 to 1. And visit carprousa.com for the latest on the car industry. Always good to have you.
Fellas.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry.
I appreciate your time.
See you next week.